Good morning.
George, good morning. How are you?
Of course, we're happy to say we're here at the SEMA show in Las Vegas, which is probably the world's largest show. And to be here displaying some of the new things with Hot Wheels is very exciting. And of course, we got a lot of exciting things coming up in the future. But
yes, we do.
While we're here, we're talking about many things that they'll be able to acquire for this year, 2006, 7, 8, and right on up. And one of the main attractions is a GTO, which you have, Ned.
Yep.
And you are now handling the position of Hot Wheels, Mattel, and what capacity?
I'm the Director of Marketing on Hot Wheels for all of our adult collector business. So that's all of our product that we're doing. It's also all of the shows like SEMA, as well as our show car building.
Well, that's great. We know we met several times in California. And talking about the things we were cruising for the Cure. We had the road racing course. And all
that's
that.
right. A lot of fun.
Yeah. And now we're able to do a little bit of talk here. And wow, this is so great to be able to see a miniature of the real car. And the Hot Wheels, of course, is very exciting, a name that everybody is well known about. We're happy to say that probably Hot Wheel is the largest automobile manufacturer in the world.
We are. We make more cars every year than all the auto manufacturers put together. And we've actually been giving these away, George, at the show. We're giving away over 10,000 of these. It's a special SEMA edition car that's modeled after our 66 GTO show car. I've been to all the other booths. None of them are giving away any cars.
Yeah, and the big thing about it is that having one of these is not only that it becomes a collectible piece, but they're going to enjoy knowing that it is a real car.
That's right.
Hot Wheels, which makes it from the real car. There's a lot of other exciting events here at the booth, and one of the things that I like, which has got things that are probably a joy to me, and that is color. Color is so great. We're working with PBG, which is coming out with a whole new line of color for Hot Wheels, as well as our big cars. So let's step over here and get a little squander of what's happening.
And this really is exciting. Now, coming, obviously, George, the masters of custom painting. We, as many people remember, in 1968, when Hot Wheels came out, we had the Spectra Flame paint, which was the original sort of the candy colors.
Yep.
A lot of them you see here. We worked with PPG to reintroduce Hot Wheels Spectra Flame paint. So you can see all the different shades that you've got here. Our SEMA show car is actually painted in light red watermelon, which is one of the original 16 colors. My personal favorite, antifreeze green.
Yeah, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous green.
Nice, quiet, subtle color, colors you're rolling down the street.
Yeah, I started out with PBG when it was known as Ditchler.
Right.
Way back in the 40s, when I was able to take their toners and bring forth these colors, which is very interesting for me to acquire. The first candy apple was kind of like an accident. When I had Ditchler, we went ahead and I painted a white car red for a guy that wanted to sell it. And I sprayed it real quick, and it became so vibrant and so wild. I said, well, but it was cloudy. So then I went and threw some silver over a fender, and I put it over that better. Then I went down to Gemini, got some gold powder, and put that together, and put it over that. And that is how we started in the early 40s, candy apple paint. So working with Ditchler, we've been doing so. In fact, we're even coming up with a new line that we're working in color blends with PPG and Ditchler. It's going to be kind of exciting, but it's more exciting to me to see that it's in the Hot Wheel line as well to make collectibles.
Yeah, no, PPG's been a fantastic partner for us. We're really pleased to be associated with them.
Yeah.
And, we know that you were over there signing yesterday in their booth, and they appreciate it. And we know that a lot of people look at this, and now, of course, you can take the favorite paint from your Hot Wheels and put it on your big car.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing. We know that as Hot Wheels' traditional thing is you can go from big to little and from little back to big, so that's a good thing.
It's kind of full circle.
But we probably got something good to announce. We're going to kind of scoot over to the other side of the booth. Well, it's walking through the booth area along with the many different decor and displays, and kind of sneak around the corner over here, and got to look up there. You got to say this is the most exciting time of many years from clear 1966. It's going on to 40 years, been trying to get the original 1966 TV Batmobile into the toy form. If I've received thousands, I got to say more than thousands of letters in the period of years, and everybody said, when are we going to have a Hot Wheel Batmobile, a real original one? We've had, and you've made it the many other ones, the 50s and the 80s and all this. but they all still look back to the time when we could.
They all look
that.
to sort of the original, and we get the same mail. People are saying, when are you going to do the Batmobile? Because this really is the definitive Batmobile. We're very excited that we're going to be working with you.
Yeah.
This will be coming out in our basic car line in January to February of next year.
Oh, that's great.
So that's not a long time to wait.
So it's a 2007 early entry. Yeah.
But that's not all, because we're also doing more scales. We're doing a 1/43rd scale. It's going to be a replica of the car. We'll also do a 1/18th version, so a nice large scale, and it is going to be amazing. As you know, we're working with you to go over all the photographs, the details. We're digitally scanning the Batmobile, the #1 Batmobile. It's at the Peterson, so it's going to be the most authentic replica anyone has ever seen.
Yeah, well, that's the exciting part about me, that Larry Woods and the whole team over there at Hot Wheels, we are at the actual car that I built in 1966. And they're getting all the fine points, detail of the things that we're going to have, which is kind of more than exciting, because they take the time to make sure that they've got the real car going. And of course, to see the cars starting out the early part of the year 2007, then on down through the years, and we're going to hopefully look at maybe introducing the car, SEMA, premiering here in 2007 with the original #1 car.
That's the plan, George, because obviously it's an amazing car. You know, spending a couple hours with it over at the Peterson, we were taking just pictures of the interior, I started getting chills again. Obviously from my childhood, that's the car that I grew up just loving watching every day on Saturday TV in New York. And for me, it's really going to be an exciting journey, putting this car together, working with you, but then delivering the car that we know that millions of guys, girls, everyone grew up with, and now they're going to be able to get it in diecast. So George, as you know, you've seen over the years hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who have done models of the Batmobile.
Right.
And usually a lot of it's by eyeballing stuff, whether they've seen it on TV, they may have actually seen the #1 car, but not all of them are exactly correct.
Right, that's true. Yes.
And with Hot Wheels, we really make sure that when we do vehicles, that they are as painstakingly close to the original as possible. From the auto manufacturers, we actually get the computer CAD files from them to actually build the cars. And what we're doing with the Batmobile is something similar. We actually have a company that's doing a scanning process. So just like how you can scan a photograph, we're basically going to have a three-dimensional scanning machine that's going to go over the Batmobile and create a perfect digital file.
So that actually you're going around, something like they do in the medical industry, where they photograph everything completely around, not just one side or this side or that side. It scans, that's terrific.
The whole thing. And so that way we can be assured that we're using the #1 Batmobile, which of course is the one that we're going to be basing our models off of, but it's going to be an exact replica. So that we'll have that, and then all of the expertise of Hot Wheels, people like Larry Wood and our other designers, working with you to make sure that all the details on the interior, under the hood, all that down to the D's parachutes are exactly the way you built it back in 1966.
Well, that is terrific to see that. This is the things that makes it so important for a manufacturer or a toy company to give authentic cars and toys to our consumer and customer, because they always see some kind of replicas. Like you said, there was many of them that have been resin in different types, but they just, like off of a photograph, one side, the other side, front, rear, everything. But it's going to be a thrill to me to see that they go into that detail. We're happy to hear that.
Well, that's what we want, and we know that's what the fans demand, because we know that with all the chatter that's already on the websites and boards about the Batmobile, they're expecting it to be as good as it can possibly be. And Hot Wheels, of course, we're making sure that we pay tribute to you and your fine creation, the Batmobile, with an incredible model.
Well, we're looking forward to that big introduction for Hot Wheels 2007. Of course, a lot of other things we do. We just don't only make Batmobiles, but Hot Wheels gets into a volume of cars that everybody likes, and that's why they're the world's largest manufacturer.
That's right.
Well,
George,
thank you again.
Thank you
We're so
much.
excited to be here in 2006 doing our show at the SEMA, and again making Hot Wheels the #1 toy manufacturer in the world.